Well, I can feel the breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning to you. We are live from Oldsmar, Florida. What's happening? Happy Monday. Look at that, man. We got things rolling. We got things going. Look at that. It is Monday, and we got a little bit of weather to talk about. A little quieter week. Hail. Got some hail video to show you. Hail. More hail coming today in Florida. Yucky, yucky. So what's up? This is our daily brew show, getting ready for the tropical season. We talk a lot during the tropics. Last couple years, we start doing more during the wintertime, springtime. But really, our big crowd is the tropics, and we like to look long range and look at what might be coming next month. 05/15, we start our daily outlooks from the National Hurricane Center. So that's coming less than 4 weeks. These will be updated. These little guys right here. These are your daily outlooks. Right here. These will be updated starting May 15th. Less than a month. What's up, Tiki? What's up, Dale? What's up, John Ferguson? Hey, I saw your picture, John. The bike ride looked fun down to Caymans. What's up, Bill Barber? It's Tornado Mike. A little too windy. Yeah, where was that at? What's up, Jason T? Jason Triplet. Hey, Jason, your video got Paul Delgado shared it on Facebook. Got a lot of views. So did Dennis Phillips, man. So good for you. I hope you didn't have any damage. Jason Triplet, I'll show you. In fact, let's just show it now. As a matter of fact, I had it ready for you, man. So this was in Davenport yesterday. This hail bouncing off our one and only Jason. He's a fan of our page. Let me turn up the audio a little bit. You can hear it pounding the page. So hopefully you didn't get any go through the screen. That would stink. But hey, I like your lights, by the way. I got lights hanging through there. So yeah, we had big hail yesterday. That was yesterday at Davenport. You can hear it. You can see it accumulating on the top. That's called Florida snow. That's a Florida snowstorm. Louis watching. So when they say we don't get snow in Florida, you can tell them it's a lie. It's a lie. It's all a lie. We get it March, April, May. In May. That is our hail season. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's just I'm paying more attention to whether or not. But we're getting a lot of hail. And as a matter of fact, let me close out of this. We got hail today. Let's go back to my page here. I shared this earlier. This was from the National Weather Service. And let's pull this one up big time. This is for later today. I shared the HRR model earlier. Oh, I got to put Louis down because I got to make it bigger. Say bye, Louis. We'll get your brother here in a minute. Say bye, everybody. So this is for later today. Since we're talking about hail, we got a lot of people down in Miami that watch. So we got a repeat today. I showed the HRR, and then we followed up with the National Weather Service out of Miami. Showed this. Now this kind of cuts off because this is their regional office. National Weather Service Miami puts it out, so it kind of stops it short. A little northwest Palm Beach, so it'll extend northward, possibly over up to the Cape. Shelly, Janie Wells from Arkansas. Man, you've been getting all kinds of weather. Jane from the Space Coast. What's up? Melinda Woods. What's up, David Berryhill? How's Carolina doing? Anybody watch the NASCAR race last night? Pretty exciting. Thought it was not a very big Kyle Busch fan. That was kind of disappointing. He acted all tough about it too, like, yeah, man, we were in the right spot, right time. But hey, he's in the chase now, so. Did you guys like it? But yeah, there you go. Holy cow. Scott just says, what's up, Betty over on YouTube. Dale, you did. What's up, Dale? Rays finally won, by the way. Eric, if you're watching, I know Eric's a big Rays fan. Shelly's on a weather strike. Mike rocks. Hey, Mayor. Appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. I think he came in last year, too. That's great. Hunter Pumpy. Yeah. So, listen. So, Tropics. So, we got a lot to talk about. So, this is live weather today down in South Florida. Definitely, if you saw the HRR I posted earlier today, we got some storms developing later this afternoon. So they're saying that the best time for hail and strong storms today for southeast Florida would be 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And they don't look like they move much. I don't think they're going to make their way over to the Florida west coast. So it's more of an east coast thing today. We got a frontal line coming down. We're going to get into all that good stuff here in a little bit. A couple other funny things to show you. I don't know. Did you see this? I shared it last night on Twitter. That is satellite. That's Alaska to the north. Stu Ostro, I think he pronounced his last name. He likes to pull satellite imagery and have funny stuff. So this is satellite imagery last night. So that was on Easter. That is the that could be the Easter Bunny. That might be the one and only Easter Bunny last night. That was on Easter. So there you go. There's the Easter Bunny satellite imagery. Little laugh for the day. Hope everybody had a great Easter, by the way. Trent Hogg, how's it going, buddy? Trent Hogg, our East Lake correspondent. So yeah, hope you had a great Easter. Seriously, we had a good little family get together and hung out with mom and dad. Mom and dad made her annual breakfast casserole. It's so good. Oh my God. It was so good. It was a creepy photo, Gail. Good morning, Cliff from Eastern Carolina. Yes, we're going to talk about weather. So we got a frontal line coming through. By the way, this is ABC. We'd love to give them big thanks. They're our first big supporters of our page, Mike's Twitter page. So big props to ABC here, family owned and operated. From the bootlegging? Moonshining? From the 30s. They might be the reason that Daytona Speedway was even built because, that's how NASCAR started with the moonshiners. Racing up and down the dirt roads, carrying moonshine, getting chased by the cops. So the early NASCAR racers came from moonshiners, bootleggers, and ABC could have started. It was in the 30s. They might have NASCAR roots. I'll have to ask them about that. That would be so cool. There's our tropics. All right, so let's talk about the weather. We'll get into things real quick. Let's close out some things here. So again, these little maps will get updated in May 15th, just less than 4 weeks. The season officially opens in June the 1st. But let's pull up the big radar. Let's pull up, what can we pull up here? I don't know what would be cool to look at this morning. So we really don't have big storms, I guess. I don't know. Let's pull up, I don't know, satellite radar. Let's just pull it up here and then we'll chit chat for a minute. I don't like satellite radar. I like Google radar. Google radar is my favorite. So we'll go Google. I remember one time, I remember when Google came out, I'm like, what the heck's a Google? All right, let's let Google load. All right, we'll just keep it right here for a little while. Then we'll say a couple more hellos and we'll get rolling. So, so officially the season starts June the 1st. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I got a few seminars. I'm actually flying out to do a special with our friend Tammy Kent with OSR, One Swords Restoration, and that'll be probably June the 2nd. We went ahead and planned our family vacation in June because the tropics are usually slow in June. So I just jinxed it. Can't be gone in September and October, that's for sure. So, hey, good morning, Stephanie Stokes. How's it going up there from Panama City? Mary, yeah, Hunter is cutie pie. He's only 8 pounds. So I was in the shower today, and Hunter came right up and peed. We had a little chair in the bathroom. He looked right at me and peed because the chair was in a different spot. And he knew he was in trouble because he went outside to pee 5 minutes later, and he went through all the motions like he peed, but he didn't pee. And then he wanted a treat. I'm like, are you kidding me? You don't get a treat when you pee inside the house, buddy. You can't pee inside the house. No. All right, seriously, let's talk some weather. June hurricane, that's what Shelly told me. So anyway, seriously, I'll be actually going on a cruise. The girls were so sad that they didn't go on the Mike's Weather Page cruise that they guilted us into taking them on a cruise. So anyway, what's happening? All right, so this is what's going on. Now, we actually have a nor'easter. Can you believe it? This area right here is going to skirt up the coast, tightening low pressure, deepening low pressure. We're going to have snow wrapping around the backside all the way into possibly the Smokies tonight. Heavy snow. We're talking feet of snow possible parts of PA northward. And it's going to be a wet, cold snow is what they talk about. And I guess that means a lot because wet, cold snow is heavier than dry, warm snow. But seriously, increased chances for power problems up north tonight and tomorrow as our nor'easter comes in. So a rare April nor'easter, right? We're going to have heavy winds along the East Coast. Storm potential across eastern Carolina today. We got to watch out for as this thing starts tightening up. And also down in South Florida. So let's put up the old Storm Prediction Center map. This is what's happening today. There's your storm potential map. You know, slight chance of tornadoes coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. You got the warm Gulf Stream. You got a tightening low pressure system. So there's always that outside chance that we can see a water spout coming in off the Atlantic later today. That's as our low races northward. My little pointer ain't working again today. You little sucker. Good morning, Conehead. What's up, Kelly? Hey, thanks for the stars, Sandra and Dean. Appreciate that. They all add up for sure. So anyways, here you go. Storm potential today. Doesn't really show South Florida for tornadoes. However, we still have that marginal threat down in South Florida and the East Coast. And a lot of that's hail. Look at that. Hail chances. Now, look. This is pretty big time. You know, a lot of locals telling me it's very rare to see hail. Down in, let's make it really big. Look at that. That's almost professional looking. All right, so it's kind of rare to see hail that far south of Florida, but that's because we got a cold front and cold air above. Doesn't take much for thunderstorms. Thunderstorms build upwards, and once they reach that super cold air coming down from the Arctic, guess what? Hail. Quicker to form. That's why we get more hail in March and April, because these cold fronts are bringing down colder air aloft. That's the big word of the day, aloft. I like to sound professional. By the way, I'm an amateur. I'm a non-meteorologist. I don't know how many times I say that, but I don't say it enough. People are like, what are your qualifications? So I always refer to the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center, obviously. You know that. But I do like to use a big word now and then to sound like I'm smart. So today's big word of the day is aloft. And aloft means air above the surface. So cold air aloft, hail chances. So that's the thing that we had, and they also said significant possibly, significant hail possible. So that means, hey, you don't want to get underneath one of these thunderstorms, no doubt. That'll be later this afternoon. So let's hope we don't get that for South Florida later today. So I do want to talk about this little feature. All right, so last week, I wasn't trying to hype. God, I wish my little pointer was working. I don't know. Is it going to work over here? Let me try it over here. No, it's just not working. Well, I can possibly turn it off. Let's see if I'm going to turn it off. Let me turn off my pointer and see if it'll come back on. So it's off. Now it's back on. Yeah! Oh. Hey, Jamelia Rooney, how you doing up there, man? Up in the Cape Cod area. What's up, Marcia? 17 weeks in a row. My goodness, you big stars. Sorry, Stephanie, bad internet. Should be all right on our end. Meteorologist, yep. John Ferguson, coming to Cayman. Nope, I don't know, John. It looks like the only one we could get is going to stay on this side, man. Might have to meet in the middle somewhere. And I've yet to, God, I'm a bad marketing guy. I'm drinking out of the Princess Cup again today. So last day of the Princess Cup. I don't know why I grabbed that cup today. I have a degree in BS, Jeffrey. That is perfect. No, I take it serious. I did go to college. I did. By the way, we're streaming live on Twitter. It's growing over there on YouTube. I'm trying to get the YouTube channel going. I figured everything. I'm even authorized on TikTok now, but I don't know. But YouTube is a whole new animal. But welcome to everybody on YouTube, Twitter, and of course Facebook. So last week we talked a lot about this little guy right here. All right. And even over the weekend, they showed it being a low pressure system later tonight and tomorrow. We have an approaching front coming down. This little sucker's definitely going to turn out to sea. But there was a window that this thing could have tightened up. And I don't think it is now. But history says these little old frontal boundary low pressure systems that ride the high pressure, Atlantic high pressure system tend to get going. And 99.9999999% of all May, April systems all are in this area right here. So it doesn't look like it's going to be any. Still looks like we're going to have some Wednesday action for Bermuda. We have a lot of people in Bermuda that watch us. Several hundred. Last year we did an experiment because they hate the word fish storms. So we don't use the term fish storms because there's people that live in Bermuda and they hate it. But it could bring some weather to them. Now, what I found interesting was this. So this is one of our tropical products. And not to say I was overhyping anything because it really wasn't going to happen. But it's still showing up as a, slight chance area to watch. Nothing's going to happen. But so that, I don't think that's going to happen. We can look at some other stuff on it. Here's, water vapor loop's always a good one. Let's pull it up here. You can see, it starting to, rotate a little bit. We're starting to get some of this frontal line pushing down and starting to wrap up a little bit. These barclonic type systems, when they merge with frontal boundaries, sometimes spin up. So I'm not ruling it out yet. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not hyping it up. It just means we could have Alex, subtropical Alex. But the window is shrinking fast. This is a pretty good frontal line coming in. You can see dry air. Dry air is yellow and oranges, and that's some pretty big dry air coming down. It's already through the panhandle of Florida, so that means you guys are seeing blue skies in the panhandle and probably cool weather. We're going to have some cool weather tomorrow and definitely Wednesday morning. I'm going to talk about this front's going to make its way all the way through Florida, kind of rare. Here's tomorrow's surface chart map. Look, it's actually going to get down through Florida tomorrow and really get down there. Might even hit you, John, down in the Caymans. Look at that. So there's our funnel line. Let's take a look at what it looks like on water vapor satellite imagery. Since this front is going to make its way through Florida, but it's pretty strong. And what comes with these systems is a lot of wind shear, and it's very hard for tropical systems to develop any sort of development when there's a lot of wind shear. So that's more than likely why we're not going to see anything. But, hey, I had to talk about it. I always talk about it. All right, so let's take a look at the simulated satellite. So this is the Euro. This is really always neat to see. So here's our front coming down right now. There's your frontal line. Let me draw it for you. Here's your frontal line. This is later today, frontal line. There's our blob of whatever, right? This little blob is going to get merged up with our frontal line. But what we're going to look for is this dry air. And it's pretty neat because it's going to make its way through. So this is later today. Here's tonight, big dry air overnight. That means it's going to be windy across Florida Peninsula tonight. cool air rushing down, like maybe 50s, way south. We'll take a look at that. Here's that juice here trying to maybe spin up, but again, a lot of wind shear, very doubtful. But it does bring action to Bermuda on Wednesday. And look at that front. It does go through the Cayman Islands. John, look at that. There's our frontal boundary. So look at that. Lots of dry air all the way through the Bahamas. So if you're down to Bahamas, tomorrow's wonderful. Wednesday is wonderful. Thursday is wonderful. Friday is wonderful. Saturday is wonderful. Look at that. Really nothing coming up. We expected a quiet week this week as far as weather goes. So look at that. A lot of dry air. No rain for Florida. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because a lot of drought in the southern portions. But there you go. So there you go. Dry air coming through. Rains for Bermuda Wednesday. pretty gnarly. Let's take a look at temperatures real quick because everybody likes to talk about that. Let's see what we got for temperatures. We'll go to tropical tidbits here. Let's look at future radar real quick. Future radar. So we do have a storm chance later today for the Carolinas and down into South Florida. So let's focus on that real quick. So we could get some storms coming in off the Atlantic later today because of our frontal line. And what's really going to be interesting is seeing this tightening up of our low pressure system along the East Coast. So here's what we got today. Big old mess happening right now, obviously. This is pretty much live radar from South Carolina northward. Starting to get some wintry weather north, Virginia north. You're probably seeing a little bit of that. But watch what happens out through the day. You know, the frontal line definitely dissipates across Florida. A lot of dry air out in front of this thing. But what we see later today, storms developing down here and storms here. Now, what we're going to look here across the East Coast, we got this low pressure system that's actually going to start scooting this way. So we're going to start to see increased storms here across the East Coast. And later this afternoon, this is noontime today. So there's our frontal line. You know, big storms later today, South Carolina northward. There's our little popcorn storms popping up here this afternoon. This is pretty much from Cape southward. This is 5 o'clock. So there you go. There's those storms, potential hail, severe thunderstorms later today for South Florida on the East Coast mainly. And then there's our system moving off north. Pretty amazing to watch for a nor'easter. You can see a little bit better here on the GFS now. We got a lot of wintry weather behind this thing coming. With this, let's take a look at that. So here's the latest GFS on tropicaltidbits.com, and you can see, boom, look at this low pressure. I mean, we're talking, you know, tomorrow morning, 1,003, smack dab over Virginia there. But watch what happens. Develops 997, 994, 991 as it races north. So heavy snow predicted here, parts of Pennsylvania northward, random snow south, but heavy snow Pennsylvania northward up in the New York. Inches. In fact, the latest, I don't know if I showed it or not, but here's your latest map. And they're talking about possibly 10 to 12 inches are possible in some of the higher elevations around the Poconos. But there you go. Lots of snow. 8 to 12 inches. So there you go. Officially a nor'easter. Nor'easter. Hey, Jason. Straight. So yeah, it's all right. So Jason over on YouTube's asking. He was the video that we shared with the hail. What's the chances of a tornado since there's a lot of hail? Well, typically when you have a tornado, you definitely have hail associated with it because that's your highest, supercells. The definition comes down to if there's vorticity or not. I mean, straight line winds can have the same effect. That's what's crazy. I mean, it even goes back to that tornado incident, which I uploaded today on YouTube, ironically, when we had that one coming off of the water here. They never officially called it a tornado, and it bothered me because it skirted across the, let me show you, because I just put it up on YouTube, but we had the same similar effect here, and it kind of always bothered me because they never really officially called it a tornado, but it skipped. We had storm damages confirmed back in the famous Oldsmar tornado. So I'm here, but we had damage here, and we had damage here, and we had damage up in close to Wesley Chapel. So the storm either produces straight line winds along the way, or it had rotation and it bounces, which tornadoes typically do. So, effect's the same. It's just they define it when it has rotation with competing winds. And it might show up though as a high wind event. Sometimes the Storm Prediction Center map. Let's take a look at that. These things get updated though throughout the day. So all the storms from yesterday might not be up here yet. Let's see here. So let's take a look at yesterday's storm map. And like I said, probably not updated yet as much. So there we go. There's your hail reports. But no tornado reports. We had 2 tornadoes reported in Mississippi. In the big news too, over the weekend there was a tornado emergency. Was it Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night. One of the nights, Saturday night. I can't remember what night it was. For Arkansas, I think it was Arkansas, but it turned out it didn't even happen. And oh my goodness, so the Twitter weather world was going bonkers because they were mad at the National Weather Service because they issued a tornado warning emergency, and it turned out there wasn't one. But the vorticity was incredible. In fact, if you look back, let me show you. I think I was sharing it too. Tornado or not, I mean the damages are the same. But people really get into whether or not it was officially a tornado or not. But like I said, the effects are the same. So here it is. This was posted. When did I post this? This was April 15th, actually. So that was Friday. So we did have this overnight. Look at that. Strong looking couplet. And tornado emergency was issued by the National Weather Service. However, the next day they didn't find any confirmed tornado damage other than straight line winds. So, hey, can't be right all the time, but man, the people over Twitter really gave them a lot of hard times. What was weird about this system, it was moving southeast. It wasn't really your typical northwest or north. It was southeast, not your typical northeast pattern, which you usually get with a jet stream, and that's what creates tornadoes. Is a lot of that jet stream crosswinds that you get with a big dip in the jet. So. Maybe that's because it was going southeast is probably a big part of it not really being a tornado. It was more of a straight line wind event, but the effects are still the same. You see this cloud? This was shared from a fan, Jolie Callaway Lackey from the Florida Keys. That was a really weird ice ring that went around man, look at it. Everybody else started sharing. I didn't even look at all of this. Somebody else posted the same picture. So I had all these people with the Keys post the same picture. It's really cool. This was Jamie Bales. Another one here from Tom Lawrence. Pretty neat. Yep. It's just all these different angles of the same cloud. Pretty neat. I had a lot of comments. Holy cow, 66 comments. I didn't even read them all. But anyway, so we get a lot of cool fan shares. That was as it goes. So what else we talk about? So hey Eric, how about the Rays, man? They still got some work to do, but anyway. John, yeah, hey, we're gonna keep the Caymans in our forecast. By the way, the radar above me is current radar. That's the last 12 hours of radar. And we can change it. Let's take a look at the let's look at satellite here real quick. So satellite. This is current satellite. Ooh, it always looks scary, but it's not really. And let's take a look at the last 12 hours. Hit play, and we'll look at the latest satellite imagery for the last 12 hours as we chit-chat. So lots of hail. Hail seems like hail this season. The tornadoes more to the east this season has been a big story. Typically not places that get multiple weeks of tornadoes. And then hail's been a big story south, seems that way. I mean, again, I never really paid attention to weather like the last couple of years. I mean, I have the last couple of years, but like I don't recall if hail is always this prominent, or there's just because we have more people on social media. But like I said, there's a lot of people that live down in Miami that said hail is very uncommon, And we could possibly see hail again today down in Miami area. So it's definitely not a common thing for South Florida. But anyway, anything else? Let's chit chat. What's going on? So Richard Reamer, good morning to you. Brian Elliott, morning, buddy. That's the dogs. That's the boys. And like I said, the weather this week, let's talk. Oh, we were going to look at temperatures. Let's take a look at temperatures. We started looking at temperatures. I got sidetracked. Imagine that. All right, so let's look at the temperatures. This is kind of interesting. We got some cool weather on the way. Here it is. This is Tropical Tidbits. We can take a look at it here. Now, check this out. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, look at this. 59 possibly for Orlando. 40s for the Panhandle. Pensacola in the 40s tomorrow morning. We got freezing temps across the Appalachians. We should probably look at a snow forecast. We'll look at that because we probably got folks up that neck of the woods. 30s across Tennessee, 40s, 50s across the south. So cool morning, right? Wednesday, let's see, highs tomorrow. Look at that. Barely getting out of the 70s. Now, the front doesn't quite make it too far south. 87 for Fort Myers, 86 for Miami. But high of 78 in Lakeland. So it might not even get out of the 80s tomorrow in much of the state. I-4 North, we always talk weather I-4 North. I-4 North doesn't get 80s tomorrow. Isn't that amazing? So look at that. So it's already 81 degrees here in Oldsmar. I'm looking at my weather station. 81 already right now, and tomorrow it will not even reach that as a high. So definite cool front coming through tomorrow. Definite. Now, let's take a look at tomorrow night's temps. Front makes its way down a little better tomorrow. 57 for Fort Myers. So we got 50. Let's look at the official cool weather for tomorrow. Right here. And we will just focus as I spit up my coffee. Here is our cool weather tomorrow. All right, so here's the official forecast for Wednesday. Let's take a look at this. This is Wednesday. So tomorrow's like your transitional day. The frontal system's still getting through. Here's your Wednesday forecast. So we will see 50s in Tampa on Wednesday morning. That means all the kids have put away their jeans and sweaters. Emily will be one. So I'll be sitting here. This is what I'll do. This is what I'll do Wednesday. I should film it as a joke. I'll be like, she's like, bye, Dad. I'll say, bye, Emily. Have a good day. I'll hear the door open, close, garage open. 2 seconds later, the door opens. Dad, it's cold outside. You didn't tell me that. Then she rushes in her bedroom, throws all her damn sweaters out because she has to find that one that's on the bottom of the damn hamper that's dirty, even though she's got 20 more cleaned. Rushes out. Julie gets home. The floor's cluttered with sweaters. Then it's all my fault. But anyway, there's your Wednesday morning temperatures. Look at that. 40s across the Big Bend area and 50s, low 50s down in South. Gainesville, Cal could squeak into some 40s on Wednesday. This is your official National Weather Service temperatures, by the way. Let's look at the high temperatures for Tuesday. See if we can verify our Tuesdays. Yep. More Wednesday. We might get 80s across. I might have been wrong. That was the GFS. Maybe hit 80s tomorrow. Across I-4. I said I-4. It's going to be really, really close. 77 for Orlando. 79. So again, 80. Blah, 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 blah. All right, enough of that. Then we look at it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, look at this. Woo! All right, so Friday I shared a bunch of graphics showing how we got so basically we got a high pressure system locking in. Let's take a look at the oh my gosh, did you see that? Let me just show it back up here. This is temperatures for Sunday, this weekend. Oh God, 90s in West Central Florida. So there you go. Sunday's gonna be hot. We're supposed to take the boat out. So you might wonder why the East Coast is cooler. Well, that's the effects of the Atlantic Ocean, and we usually have winds coming in off of the Atlantic, and we'll show you that. So when the East Coast is cool like this, it usually indicates that we got a west or an east-west wind off the Atlantic, and because the Atlantic is still kind of cool, it keeps the temperatures a little bit lower on the East Coast, and that typically means we have thunderstorms develop and push middle west. We'll take a look at that. So Wow. All right, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at this. So we got slow buildup of heat. There's really no weather to come in now. There is a little. So here's the pattern. So we're going to have a high pressure locked in and really wide high pressure system. It's going to build in all this heat. H is for heat. Heat. H is for heat. So we're gonna keep the storm chances up middle part of the country because we're gonna have a pretty big high pressure keeping everything quiet. And we even start to see some longer range predictions again starting to pop up again for north. But you can just see the patterns kind of locked in a little bit. So that does mean a little break for the south as far as severe weather goes. Good news. Doesn't look like we have anything really on the horizon this week as far as severe weather for our south and east folks that are always getting it, it seems like. So let's take a look at that windy pattern we're talking about. Let's just kind of show you here, I guess, throughout the week. Here's that front going through. And you can see tonight, let's zoom in on this. This is overnight tonight. This is 1 a.m. tonight, going into Tuesday morning. Here's our low placements. This is Tuesday tonight, 1 a.m. There's our low already setting up. Now, it's going to get quite windy here. This could be some pretty good winds here along the East Coast tonight, overnight. Look at that. This is, winds coming in off the Atlantic. So we could see pretty big gusts, 54-mile-an-hour gusts here in New York. So if you're along, Atlantic City North, Jamelia Rooney, it's going to be windy overnight. This is 1 a.m. We're going to see a low pressure system starting to develop overnight. And as it goes skirts the coast, look at these winds. We can see some big winds in the Boston. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We could see 57-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We could see, holy cow, hurricane force winds possibly here. So, something to watch. Now, Euro's a little over. The GFS is about the same. Look at that. So, yeah. Look at that. Holy cow. 60s. Big winds. This is tonight. This is overnight tonight. Nor'easter, rapidly deepening low pressure system. We're going to see some big winds. New York overnight. Look at that. We can see Long Island getting pretty gusty. 65 miles an hour rolling in off of the Atlantic overnight. So, yeah, it's going to be windy tonight. Woo. All right. Rest of the week, we're going to see high pressure lock in. Let's take a look at that. Let me turn on my little isobars. All right, there's our low pressure system developing, moving on out of here. So throughout the week, here's what we got. Here's that high pressure system that's going to push this front out of the way. Here's Bermuda. Here's that little bit of action that's getting pulled up. Here's Bermuda. This is Tuesday night. We got people in Bermuda watching. Frontal line pulls up our little low pressure disturbance. So you're going to have a chance for some rains possibly Wednesday. There you go. Storms Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Bermuda. Could skirt a little bit to your west. It's been trending a little bit to the west. But you should get some rainy action regardless Tuesday night, Wednesday. But then, look at this. High pressure dominates. There's our high pressure. And that's going to be bringing in the heat. And it's going to kind of be locked in place. Look. This is Thursday, high pressure, big old ridge of high pressure over the south and east coast, keeping these storms more across the middle plains here. Friday, high pressure dominating. Look at this, high pressure all the way extending this way. That's these hot temperatures, and we got to look because, man, we got some heat developing here. I'm going to show you that. I didn't look yet, but last Friday we did. That's why we got the cooler air on the Florida East Coast over the weekend. High pressure dominating again. This is Friday. I don't even know if we should go live Wednesday. There might not be any weather to talk about. High pressure Saturday. There's our storms across middle U.S. Not a lot of rain. This is no rain. This is almost nothing. High pressure dominating. Saturday, high pressure Sunday, Saturday night. There's our storms on the edge. Look at that. Maybe a little moisture coming up from the Caribbean, bringing up a little showers on Sunday, a little bit, but nothing heavy. High pressure, high pressure, high pressure. Storms out in Oklahoma northward. This is Monday next week. Could be our next little frontal line trying to get going. And it might make its way down. That's a whole lot of days away. That's next Monday, a week from now. Woo, man. Temperatures. We've got to show you this, though, because we got forecast 90s later in the week. Let's see if it's still showing up. Oh, I'm way ahead of myself. All right. It's not, well, not as bad as it showed last week. I think, well, sort of. Oof, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Oof, there you go. Oof. All right. So this is Saturday. This is Canada. This is North Dakota and Minnesota and Wisconsin. So we can see 70s in Michigan. You can just see that heat build up. So, heat across a big chunk of over the weekend. That's that high pressure setting up. So high pressure blocks any action, and that's going to dominate. And the storm threat pretty much remains here, and you can see that on the storm. So there you go. Everything in a nutshell. There you go. Storms tomorrow. Anyway, so we already went over all that. And busy hurricane season. Drew, good question. Let's talk about that. Well, we will talk about that. So hey, I had some fun, by the way. Shelly's going to put out some questions or pictures, but we're getting ready. So I got some fun stuff coming up. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I'm supposed to do some convention June the 9th. I'm flying away June the 2nd, then June the 9th, and April 27th. Okay, I'm going ahead of myself. April 27th. That's like a week from Wednesday. And then May is okay. So April 27th. Don't ever breathe through your nose. Out. So Oldsmar is having a Hurricane Expo, and we're giving away an awesome Furman generator. I took some pictures of it. It's the one I use at my house here. It's a tri-fuel, big mamma jamma, push button start, awesome, free. All you gotta do is show up. It's gonna be a door prize. So if you're in the area, Pasco, Hillsborough, Pinellas County, it's gonna be an awesome expo. They got stuff planned from EOC folks coming, flood management coming, Sheriff's Department, Fire Department. So yeah, it's going to be a good time for learning about hurricanes, and we'll be giving that away. So that's April 27th. Yeah, that was my world. All right, so that was it. That's all I got to talk about. I don't know. Thanks, Shelly. The pictures worked out good. I was about ready to do so. Oh, hurricanes. Let's talk hurricanes. All right. Hurricanes, and then we'll be done. Hurricanes. All right, let's take a sip of coffee. So I'm getting some tires put. There you go. Shelly just put up the flyer for me. Savannah, Georgia. That's a little too far, Drew. Sorry. I don't think it'd be worth the trip. Just to hear me say the same things you can hear on the mornings. Oh, my goodness. Crazy. All right. So hurricanes. Well, the Weather Channel, I guess we could talk about that. Weather Channel put out their seasonal outlook, and I shared it. It was almost the exact same as Colorado State University. The forecast is above average. Totally believe it. Basically you have a fixed amount of storms every year based on averages, right? You just have that, over history, over 100 years. So then you add in a couple little variables that are sneaking in on us, like La Nina, and warmer over average waters over, not just now, but just history of the waters are just getting a little warmer. Those two factors mainly are the reason that everybody's predicting above average hurricane season. So people are asking, is it going to be busy? Yeah, it should be busy. People last year, the most amazing, crazy, I don't even know the word to say, but if I heard one time last year how dead the season was last year, it was for most folks, right? We had Hurricane Ida. That was terrible. we went all the way through the W's. You know, last year was the third most active season on record. Third most active year. And everybody thought it was a dead year. You know why? Because a lot of these little storms popped up and they only lasted a day or two, right? Some of these storms harmlessly went out to sea, you know, not affecting any lands. And when they don't affect land, people think it was a dead season. So, you know, it's so repetitious to say things like it only takes one and stuff. But, you know, last year was a great example of a busy year that in people's minds was a slow year. Because even though we went through all the names, went all the way to W, used every name in the book, most people thought it was a dead year because there wasn't a lot of activity. So, but anyway, La Nina is expected to maintain itself through the summer, maybe picking back up a little bit towards winter. So that usually allows a little more activity in the Atlantic region. So just that alone, that one factor right there, you know, means that the conditions will be a little more favorable for development of systems. Now, where they go, no one knows. You know, the ones we got to worry about, are the homegrowners, the ones that were, I can't use this map on here, but the ones that were 3 days out that were only tropical storms, like Andrew. 3 days out was only a tropical storm. Michael, 3 days out was only a tropical storm. Ida, 3 days out was only a tropical storm. Ida wasn't a 5, but it was still a 4. Harvey, 3 days out, it died. Harvey was like a wave that passed over the Yucatan and got going again in the Bay of Campeche. So, you know, the homegrowners are the ones you got to watch, which really promotes what we do here and look at long-range forecasting because, you know, Michael, tropical storm, down by the Yucatan, it was in October, and I always say people in October, you're done with the season. Like, we could have a June tropical storm create the most hype you'll ever see in a whole year because it's the first one of the season. Everybody's fired up. Every news at 11, breaking news at 5. Alex forms in the Atlantic, and it might be curving and even miss Bermuda, but it would get more press than ever. October comes around, and people are done with it. They're putting up their fall leave forecast. Football starts. People aren't even thinking hurricanes because it's fall. So my thing is fall and football are the sneaky ones. And that's unfortunately what happened with Michael. A lot of people think, Michael wasn't talked about enough. I don't know. I mean, original NHC forecast, as a matter of fact, we can take a look at this here. The original NHC forecast archive. Let's see, archive. I can't even spell. I'm spelling chives like I'm hungry. Little chives. All right, Hurricane Icar Markle. Markle. All right, here's the graphics archive. All right, let's stop this sucker. All right, stop. All right, stop. All right, so here's the history. Let's go to the 5-day with the line. All right, stop. All right. Okay, so let's rewind to the beginning. Now, totally respect the NHC. This is no dig on them whatsoever. But the initial they always start out conservative. This is fact. I didn't make it up. But the first cone of Michael showed a tropical storm hitting land, right? And that was 3 days. See, here's Saturday, and here's Wednesday. So that's 4 days out. I mean, you can't cry. They don't make knee-jerk reactions. Everything they do is slow, which is great. I mean, you can't say it's going to be something without consistency with models. But, something we could do here, and you can do at home, is look at the models. Michael started showing up like all the models were trending. It was like the perfect storm as far as environmental conditions, unfortunately. But, it just started out kind of, maybe, storm here. This is a second advisory. wasn't too scary. This is Saturday. This is Tuesday. It's, again, 3-4 days away. Well, then, obviously, then they started doing a hurricane, and now it was a tropical depression. But still, look, Sunday, Wednesday. I mean, this is what Ida did. But the track was perfect. The intensity is the hard thing to predict, But even here, this is Sunday, October 7th, right? It was a 35-mile-an-hour tropical depression. It was expected. Let's look at. So this was advisory 4. Let's take a look at. I guess we really don't have discussion. I thought they'd say the discussion. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But anyway, you get the point. The ones we got to watch are the sneaky ones, the last second that fuel off of a whole summer of heat that starts accumulating energy down in the Caribbean. That's why these long track storms across the Atlantic. This is September. Irma was the last real one that I recall that came across. There might have been others, but a lot of them curve. A lot of them. Towards September, we start getting sneaky little frontal lines come down. High pressure, breaks down. A lot of these will curve. It all depends on the high pressure system and how strong that high pressure system is. But as far as the season goes, yes, it should be active. Anyway, what else we got? It happened so fast, Jim Cantori couldn't even get down there, Mark Hall. Yep. So, yeah, hey, Stephanie, I know that's where you hooked up on not hooked. I can say it because I know her, but I said this is where we hooked up. This is where I never met Steph. This is where we hooked up with the page, right? But yeah, all I was doing was sharing. When I saw 5 or 6 models consistently showing 920, 930 millibar, and you look at a lot of other things. I mean, I'm not just sharing models, but when you start to see, oh my goodness, this is looking bad. It was like, so I start sharing that stuff, and some people get mad about it. But man, when you get that much model consistency, you don't want to think it. But man, this rapid intensification that we're seeing recently is a real thing. I mean, you don't want to peak at the wrong time. These storms peak. Ida was still strengthening when it hit land. I think it actually intensified some. It never has been talked about, but I think it intensified over land. Ida here. Let's take a look at it. A couple of the satellites, but you get all this warm marsh land, a lot of water. It crossed over, making its way towards the west side of New Orleans. But, this thing maintained a major hurricane status for, several hours, 6, 7, 8 hours. Still had an eye all the way towards Baton Rouge. Now, Baton Rouge got on the drier side, but it still had an eye, several hours, 6 hours plus. It still had a major 3 eye wall, which was impressive. As a matter of fact, I drove into it because I thought it was going to dissipate. I'm like, man, we got to go, but it never dissipated. I'm trying to find something over here. I'm gonna open it on this side, but Mike's Twitter page. All right, so this one graphic I love to show is this one. Let me see. Click, 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 click. Isn't there a song? Click, click, boom. Click, click, boom. So anyway, if anybody's doing the Coco Cat, so June 13th, we're cruising on the Mariner of the Seas. I like that because it sounds like Italian. The Mariner. The Mariner. So if anybody's going on the Mariner of the Seas, let me know. Kids are excited. All right, so this is the graphic I want to show. This one is important to me because it says loading. All right, we don't want to see that one. We got to go past that one. Where's my button?
Some of the most destructive hurricanes
that
that make
like
landfall in the U.S.
Right,
start as a group of thunderstorms moving.
Is that the last page? Oh, that's because it was the last page. All right, this one right here. All right, this is my favorite graphic to showcase things that happen that don't get talked about enough. But Michael, these are Michael graphics, and so many people see this graphic right here, and you just don't get the whole picture by looking at this graphic, because we had Category 3 winds way into Georgia with Hurricane Michael. Way in Georgia, right here. Purple is hurricane warnings. I would love to see the National Hurricane Center adopt some sort of system where it could show, hurricane warnings inland. And look at this, tropical storm warnings. I mean, look at this, tropical storm. See, this is really deceiving, man. Tropical storm warnings extended like this. Now, this graphic might have been a day early, but still, all these counties were under a tropical storm warning. And you really don't get that. But these storms create a lot of damage inland. And going back to Ida, that was my example I was getting to with Ida, is we had hurricane warnings way past landfall. And I hear the same thing over and over again, like, wow, we weren't expecting that. We didn't expect it to come this far inland. So that's the new norm. Charlie, 2004, I talk about it all the time, but everybody evacuated and went to Orlando, and it was a Category 1 over Orlando with more damage in Orlando than some people got in Punta Gorda, because it was such a tight little system. It kind of opened up a little bit as it crossed land, as they do. Daytime heating and getting in some energy from the Atlantic. But so it's deceiving. You think it's such a coastal event, but in reality, it's not. And then the other thing too, which was a good example with Ida. So when the NHC puts up their 12-hour markers, they don't talk about there. And I always talk about this, but it means so much. A strengthening system. We've seen systems that were an H, here, but ended up an M here because, whoops, I don't know what the hell I'm clicking. But what does it do from here to here? And that little window could be the difference of 20, 30 miles an hour. It could be a 120 mile an hour hurricane, go to 140 mile an hour hurricane. And again, if that was an H, some people might think storm, it's weakening. So I think it'd be cool if they had a pinpointed landfall estimate versus this window of unknown. Is it strengthening to the last second? Or is it weakening to the last second? We've seen a lot of storms weaken because of cooler shelf waters, let's say, or approaching shear. We've seen systems that were an M or an H way out here, but were expected to weaken because of incoming shear from a frontal line or cooler waters. So there's two ways to look at it. What does it do from here to here? I always think that's important. So I always try to stress that. The big question marks, is the storm strengthening before landfall or weakening? All right, there you go. I say the same thing over and over again. I hope new people get to listen to it. Ooh, what's that? Wrong link. All right, what else can we talk about? Hey, Don Collier, what's up? Good morning. Thank you, Sheila, for that nice props there. Stephanie read that. Thank you very much. I know you were really affected. Dale's mad. Why are you mad? How about the Rays? All right, man. We'll see. A couple guys are saying we're out of here. Well, anyway, the inland information warnings. Yes, I didn't. And I think it's an office thing. I think it's not any disrespect, but with Sandy, there's a huge controversy with Sandy because Sandy turned into subtropical. They weren't going to issue watches or warnings anymore for Sandy because it was back then subtropical systems were handled by a different agency, and the National Hurricane Center really wasn't authorized to issue watches or warnings anymore because it wasn't under the classification of a tropical storm or hurricane because it became subtropical. So I think it was during Sandy they authorized them to continue watches and warnings. They didn't want the public to be misinformed, and it's smart. But these inland warnings are handled by different agencies, and it's so hard to find that graphic too. I looked so hard to find that inland watches and warnings because props to the Weather Channel. They usually have it out really well, and they do have some good graphics. Snow. Let's talk about snow. Well, I did show the snow. You can go back and look at it. I do want us to look at, and you can always replay these. And listen, podcasting might have been a epic fail. We're actually growing though. But if you're into the podcasting, I do put the audio up. It might be big during a hurricane season, but you can always listen to the audio, especially if you don't want to see my ugly mug. As the dogs are snoring in the background. It's 10 o'clock when Hunter starts snoring. He gets a little louder, a little louder, a little louder. All right, let's look at Smoky Mountain snow. Oh, I guess we'll just go back to my favorite little... so let's see if we get any snow accumulation. Turn off the isobars because they drive me crazy. All right, next. Very little. This is the GFS. Euro, very little. So you might get a flake or two. Didn't think we were going to have any accumulation in the mountains. But this is snowfall. So Smokey's flurries, yes, but man, northern PA and New York really getting it. 19 inches of snow west of Albany. That's the GFS. Euro showing 8, 14. Big snow, man. This is New York. It's 18 inches possible. So yeah, northern Pinellas, northern PA. I got my aunt living down here in Somerset. She's probably going to get some 8 inches. Wow. Let's see what old Somerset's going to get. Somewhere down here, Somerset. Where the heck is it? I don't know. Right here somewhere. Usually right here. Somerset's right here somewhere. Where is Somerset? It doesn't pop up on this map. Well, you can kind of see it. Anyway, yeah, look at that stretch of snow, 8 inches. So this is coming. This, nor'easter. They got winter warnings in effect. Let's see if the winter warnings are out yet. Usually they should be. Let's see. They just have winter watches up. But winter storm warnings for northern PA and in New York. So there you go. Winter storm warnings, northern Pennsylvania up into New York. Winter advisories down into West Virginia. A little bit of Virginia. A little bit of Virginia. It was cold, man, in Chicago yesterday. The Rays were playing. They were all bundled up. All right, so if you're just tuning in, listen, Tropics don't look like they're going to fire up, even though I hyped it up. But I did get some new clicks last week, so that was success. That ain't right. I'm just trying to find something to click on that we can talk from this. I'm going to leave running. No, we'll leave this up right here. Poetry in motion. How about that? All right. Anything else? Here we go. Stephanie. What's Stephanie asked here? During a tornado watch, is an extreme marine warning mean potential water spout? I've noticed that. Yes, 100%. Stephanie. Yep. The marine warnings always come out first, and we tend to get, more water spouts and marine advisories, less land, to interrupt any sort of updrafts. So the winds are out on the water, especially, and for you live where we live. We had that tornado come in off of Palm Harbor the other day. They had a marine warning out ahead of this storm cell that eventually produced a water spout. They don't do water spout advisories, Sometimes they're confident the water spout will hit land. That's when we get a tornado warning. The marine advisories are just basically the same as a severe thunderstorm warning over land. With the supercell winds that are obvious. So there you go. Teresa sending coffee donuts. Appreciate that. You're welcome, Barbara. Dale's sister lives in what the hell? What the heck is Schenectady, New York? That's what I just said, Shelly. Say that 3 times fast. Schenectady? See Joel Harrison. No softball highlights, James, this week. She did all right last week. I was bummed out. I was trying to put a video reel together. Here's my Pinnacle Studio. So I did have this one. She's been doing some amazing dives. Oh, no, this isn't it. Oh, this is the bad one. Oh, God, it's pissed me off. All right, this is a hit. So let me hit stop. So the poor girl's denied. She had 4 good hits last week, and every single one. Listen, perfect line drive. That girl jumped 2 feet off the ground, and they thought they had a double play, but they didn't. But look at this girl. This is her buddy. Look at. She was literally at least 2 foot off the ground. I mean, that denied. Hard hit ball. Ugh. No highlight. Sweaty at Trent. Yep. You can give her a hard time about her room. We give her a hard time about her room. Then I find out every single teenage girl has the same problem and puts all her clothes. And then my mom told me, my mom's in her 80s, and she told me when she was a kid, they threw clothes on the floor. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with you ladies out there. But if my mom did it in the 40s, threw all the clothes on her floor, and then when she picked up, she shoved them in the closet. Now they're doing it 70 years later. It's a thing. It must be in your DNA as a teenager to just throw all your clothes on the floor and not worry about it. Because it sounds like all y'all do it. Schenectady. All right, well, we're going to be here all tropical season long, and won't be going anywhere. Remember, we stream pretty much every day. We try to do it every day, but we're going to have calendars out. Shelly puts together a really nice calendar. We might have to share it. We'll definitely share it in the Brew Crew. That's our supporter group. We try to keep them in the loop a little more because they do throw a few bucks to the cause to keep it going for us. But if it gets too active out there, we'll definitely put it on the main page somehow so you can find it, or maybe just the website, because it's so hard to find sometimes on social media. You get things, and there is a tropical spot. The only reason I talked about the Bermuda one was because we have a lot of fans in the Bermuda. But look at this. All right, so again, there's really no surface flow developing under this little guy. I want to look real quick. You can see the little bump here. See it? A little bump. Our buddy Bobby talks about these little baby bumps. She calls them little baby bumps. So really no close low yet. And it's probably not going to. There's a lot of wind shear, but 700 millibar. Probably more of a middle. It is a more mid-level low. But going back to tropical activity, this was showing up last week too. Now this is such a weird thing. This is out in the open Atlantic. There is a little system that's riding our intertropics convergence zone that could maybe get a circle. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. But watch this little area right here. Right here. Look what happens. Look at that. Just a little window. Now hey, you never know. I'm just going to point it out. Little vorticity. Now we go to all the models, and they're all showing it. The Euro, CMC, and even the Icon. So, if you really want a tropical track, there is a weird little low pressure feature. This is through the week this week that I meant to talk about earlier. I forgot actually. This is even the 6Z. So there is. This showed up last week, and I'm like, what? It's way out here in the open Atlantic, way too cold for the water. But we've seen weirder things. Just point it out. Keep your eye open. Never know. The could get a little mention maybe just through the week. See, a little bit of spinach. Then it ain't going anywhere. Don't worry about that. It dissolves out there, but we got a little consistency amongst models that we could get a little something out there, and it would be pretty historic, I think, to see one that far out there this early in the season. Let's see if the old anything on the a little bit there. that's not really the same thing. So nothing there. It ain't worth talking about it yet, really, but I did. I did. Let's see, Atlantic. And then we can look at cyclones. Let's see. Something. Well, yeah, it is actually showing up on some ensembles. Here's your GFS ensembles. I kind of like looking at this early season stuff because it gets us ready for the season. So, yeah, we'll see. A little low pressure out there. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but not 0% chance. Still too early for that. But here's the current radar. We got to get some. All this stuff right here is starting to wrap around here, and by later to tonight, we're going to start to see this low developing. So we can look at the 48-hour radar real quick, and then we'll say, see, I already did all that. Whatever, we're done. We're talking an hour. So anyway, Trent Hall with you, buddy. Senior night tomorrow night at the softball field. So I'm putting up some lights for the girls tonight. I got this cool idea. Last time I did for the cancer night, I had pink lights I went and bought for the school. And I'll give them to Delk after Emily's gone. But I got 6 lights now. 2 really strong lights that are like massive. And then we're gonna decorate the 2 bleachers tonight. Blue with a little bit of yellow and white, because that's kind of the colors of the Eagles. So I'm excited about that. So I'm decorating the high school for their senior night tomorrow night. My little contribution. Hey, Mary Carol, how's it going? Snowing in Virginia, Nancy says. Bridgewater, VA. Holy moly. So, cool. Nope. Is it Brandis Phelps? No system. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. I talked a little bit last week about the chances of a low pressure nearing Bermuda, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. There is, evidence that others have talked about it, but morning vivid, but there's nothing right now. So, it's a little early. Jason, your video made the news everywhere? That's awesome, man. I know. I'll take a little credit on that because you only tagged me on it, which is, hey, I love it. But look, actually, let me just type in Davenport. Let's see what pops up. Oh, God, maybe I got to be careful. There's a lot of other things. Let's do hail, Davenport. I told you got to be careful on Twitter because there you are. You're on the Weather Nation. Jason Triplett. Weather Nation. Share this video. There's another one. News-incidents. They didn't even give you credit on that one. People get mad about that. Not giving credit to people. I did that by mistake years ago. My buddy Brandon Clement. What a rookie mistake that was. Oof. But anyway, there was then, like I said, Paul Delgado shared it. There's another one. It's different. That's Diane and somebody else. But I've seen the video everywhere. Paul Delgado shared it. Dennis shared it. Weather Nation had it. That means it's they submit it to all their news agencies. That's pretty cool, man. You're famous. All right, that's cool. Let's see what else we got on Twitter. Man, there's a FHP did a little, what do they call that? When they hit a car, they call it, I don't know, spin the car out. All right, that's it. We talked an hour. So, hey, have a great day, everybody. No credit to me, Jason. That's all you. I didn't see it till this morning. And as far as weather goes, recapping, we got a frontal line coming through Florida. It's fizzling right now for Florida. It is going to get pretty stormy. Carolina's north. This low pressure system is going to race up the East Coast tonight, late tonight. Very, very windy along Virginia, maybe North Carolina, Outer Banks northward, but very windy tonight. 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe hurricane gusts coming in along Delaware, Jersey, New York, northward, Rhode Island tonight. And then snow on the backside, heavy snow, Pennsylvania, New York tonight and tomorrow. We have cool weather coming down for a couple days. High pressure remains across the southeast for several days. Storms mainly are sticking around the middle part of the U.S. because we have high pressure dominating. That means heat's coming in. We got 90s way up north. 90s return to Florida, and it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. It looks like as far as organized systems go. But anytime we have cold aloft, there's a big word of the day. Hail's possible. So South Florida all the way to Cape Canaveral. Today we could see. I'm looking at what's trending on Twitter. So I don't even think I should say that. Hail today to watch. So anyway, all right. Pit maneuver, Dale. There you go. Pit maneuver. I'd love to do that. Mary Clark, thanks for watching. I would be the best. What about that race last night, by the way, Dale? The kid Reddick took it so well, I thought. But I think he should have drifted up and blocked Kyle Busch. Because I just got taken out. I'm taking somebody else out with me. So when I saw Kyle coming, I would have ran up there and just blocked his ass. Because he was so far behind. So, all right. Thank you, Vivid. Yeah, we'll be right here, Vivid. Vivid Pitt. I hope I say your name right. All right. Well, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday for the Daily Brew. And we'll keep you up to date on the weather, especially as this low pressure gets going. So have a great day. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you next time.